You know, I used to watch bad movies for fun. I don't watch trash like this because it's just insulting.
When you read the Iliad and the Odyssey, very little time is spent in the perspective of the women.
87% like-dislike ratio for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Oh my god. 446,000 dislike-a-rooskies. Check the first trailer.
Well, those people aren't gonna watch it anyway. Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, I think the first trailer was pretty well liked, right? It was at 620K versus 130K. So it still had a positive like-dislike ratio. So this is the...
That's because the conversation was new, so people thought they had to come out the woodworks to defend it.
Second trailer that it had, which had a...
Nobody cares now.
It's actually getting worse. And that's not even a little bit worse. That's a lot worse. It is a total chud uprising. These official Odyssey... Wait. The official Odyssey accounts turns off comments on marketing.
Of course they did.
The Odyssey cast joins Christopher Nolan in London. Only some accounts can reply. Man. It's
you done
so
fucked
over.
up?
It's actually, dude... The hidden reply, it's, oh my god. Does no one have two wives? No one fuck you? The red carpet, I thought we were supposed to walk the sticks.
Like, bro, don't lock replies, don't block people. Just don't do it. If you're like one of these giant accounts, if you're a corporation, just don't do it.
Why did this one get hidden? This is about Achilles. This isn't even a bad comment. They're so dumb. Woke movie is DOA, and it got dude. Every new post is locked. Are they really? Wait a minute. So this is locked, and they all have replies turned off.
Wow.
When did they start doing this? Every single one has locked comments.
That's insane.
Largest screens on sale tomorrow. Okay, so then 220 comments, and then they turned it off. A reminder to all the MAGA trolls, the Odyssey is not historical. You know what? Actually, I agree with you. I want Black Panther starring Tom Holland, Ben Affleck, Ryan Gosling, Pedro Pascal can be the father. Okay, so this isn't quotes. I'm looking for the wrong one. Okay, view hidden replies. Oh, geez, guys. Oh, no. Mel Gibson is Martin Luther King. We refuse to watch this garbage. Fuck Nolan. This is just really... wow.
Okay.
Why would you hide this one? It's funny. They should have left this one up. Julia Roberts.
They have no idea what the internet culture is like. They're so out of touch. They don't like to feel bad. They're one of the morons who get mad on the internet. They think it's real. And they can't handle trolls and jokes. And they've locked themselves into an echo chamber so hard that all they get is a bunch of yes men who blow smoke up their ass constantly.
Roberts is Harriet Tubman. Boycott. Don't support the rewrite of history and culture. Your money matters. Fuck your race-swapping garbage.
This is straight up Marxism, by the way. This is what Karl Marx teaches. To destroy heroes.
What the fuck is this
Destroy
shit?
culture.
Everybody hates it, man. If the Odyssey doesn't perform very well, I think that woke movies will actually die. Because you have like a massive high-quality star cast. And if even this movie fails, I think it could be it.
I want you to imagine really quick that you're...
Nobody cares about star casts anymore. We want new stuff. We're tired of seeing the old shit. And anytime we get something, in quotes, new, they do shit like this and just destroy it. And I think it's on purpose. I think it's to implement communism.
You're sitting in a movie theater, and you're sitting next to Homer. And you watch The Odyssey, and when it's over, you can lean over and go, okay, cool, what'd you think about how it ended?
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about the screen time given to these women, considering how little you spent with them?
She just called Homer, the father of Western literature, a chud incel.
Victory. Fucking victory! The chud incels win again.
If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. That's
True.
a phrase that you've probably seen floating around before, but it hits harder than ever right now after Sony's announcement that they will be transitioning to a digital-only future for video games.
We've gone so hard down the trans rabbit hole that now even PlayStation themselves are transitioning.
And discontinuing physical media from 2028. There is currently major backlash and disappointment over this news as people are raising questions over ownership, preservation,
I think people are misunderstanding what we actually need done. I don't care about physical games. I want DRM-free files that I could make my own physical games with. Or I could buy a physical version of the game from somebody who just made a cool version of it. I don't need official physical versions.
And collector's value. Piracy is at the heart of this discussion, with figures like Frank Cifaldi, the founder of the Video Game History Foundation, saying that this is currently the only real way to preserve games. Despite any moral reservations that you might have about it, piracy has historically played a massive role in embedding.
I don't even care about the morals of piracy. Does my morals outweigh the morals of the people I'm pirating their product from? I'm not pirating people, that'd be weird. You wouldn't download a person.
Gaming culture in countries where there was no other option to obtain video games. And as it stands today, piracy may be the only way forward as a means to preserve games and this particular part of gaming culture.
I don't even care. I don't even care. They can crumble, bish. We can preserve the games, because they will be preserved. But if they don't do it, and they make us have to do it, then they're just gonna crumble. And I'm here for it. Fuck all these corpos, man. And people are like, well, you hate communism, but you also hate corporations. Don't you know that communists hate corporations? Listen, I don't hate all corporations. I love a lot of corporations, particularly old corporations that aren't really around anymore.
10, 20, and even 50 years down the line, if these digital-only titles start disappearing due to licensing, censorship, or whatever other reason they may see fit to pull a game from your digital library, there is going to be no way to access them for historical record or research. Today I want to talk about this whole situation, focusing mainly on the piracy aspect and its significance to gaming culture in the past, and potentially in our future. Before we get started, hi, my name is Angelica, and recently enough, we talked about the dying art of physical media on this channel. There's a massive art element that will be forever lost to time once physical media is discontinued. We talked about it in detail on that.
I think it's already been lost, because, like, yeah, we don't have manuals. The discs aren't really that cool looking. They kind of just look boring, because they got the PlayStation label, and it's really hard. It's a hard label.
That video, and for
like, you don't see a hard label on this disc. It's just a full World of Warcraft disc, and it has soul.
Physical media has always been a part of the fun when it came to video games. I enjoy tangible, real-life collectibles and something to keep in my home as a symbol of my appreciation for my favorite games.
I don't. Like I said, I want to do what I want with the things that I have. And I like the digital library. I like all digital. I think having a physical option would be great.
It's what collectors do. There was always a market for this sort of thing. That's why collector's editions exist. So in discontinuing physical media, of course collectors are primarily affected, but it's also in losing that additional art element that came with the creation of games. You can check that video out if you want to hear more from me on physical media, but ownership and preservation is where piracy comes in. The sad truth is that for a lot of newer games, physical media just isn't enough anymore. It has been happening for a while with certain games that even if you did buy a physical disc, you weren't guaranteed ownership or preservation.
And the physical disc, really, the version that's on the disc isn't the full version of the game because they've got updates and patches, and I like that. I'm fine with updates and patches. I wish my games would come actual feature complete whenever they release, but I don't buy games on release either.
For example, some people happen to be in possession of a legendary Daedric artifact known as the physical copy of Concord. You can't do anything with it anymore. Physical media seems to be the final straw where they're straight up pulling that option from consumers, but with so many of these live service games, games that force you to connect to the internet, and the ones that don't have any offline mode, they decide to pull it, and it's gone, despite any money that you spent on it or whatever else. For those particular games, physical media gave the illusion of ownership, but in reality it was just an access key that could be revoked at any time. And it has been revoked, we've seen it happen. This is why things like the Stop Killing Games movement are so important for us as consumers. We need laws in place for there to be an alternative once a game decides to shut down or discontinue support. And
I disagree. I think the culture needs to fix it, not the government. Whenever the government gets involved in things, it's always bad. And sure, if we get enough people behind it, then maybe we can actually get some good things done. But people will get something done and forget and move on, and then they'll just run away with it again. Just look at the ESRB. I think the ESRB, at first, what they were to be used for was great. But now it just doesn't work anymore. And a lot of things that you'd think wouldn't be for children, they think are acceptable. A lot of things that you think would be acceptable for children, they don't think so. So it's just completely fucked. And they'll decide that, oh, games like GTA San Andreas, that's adults only. We're not going to be allowed to sell that in stores. So you better change the game however I want you to change it.
And it is starting to look like Stop Killing Games could also be very crucial in future for consumer rights if we really are moving to digital-only libraries. Also, GOG is a platform that has been very vocal since the news from Sony dropped. Their whole thing is digital ownership. As it should be. If you've spent on a game, digital or not, it should
not just digital ownership. It's like you can do what you want with the files. If you want to burn it onto a disk, go for it, man. You want to send the files over to your buddy and let them just have the files, go for it, man. They won't be able to access your account to keep re-downloading the files like you can because you paid for that access. That's really what you're paying for, is you're paying for the license to keep downloading the files. That's what GOG really is, and I love that.
Shouldn't just be the case where it can be taken away from you at any time. On GOG, even if a game vanishes from the storefront, it never leaves your library. Some users have pointed out, well, what if GOG goes out of business? They've stated that they do have offline installers, so if you want, you can put your whole game library on a disk. It's the convenience.
Also, if GOG goes out of business, they can just transfer the licenses to another company.
Of a digital purchase, but also the security of being able to physically keep a copy if you want to. Sony, of course, is not offering this option. In fact, they're not offering any kind of alternative. So what do people do when there is no other option? Piracy. If we want preservation, at the moment, piracy is the only viable option. As I mentioned earlier, piracy is something that majorly contributed to cementing gaming culture in places where they didn't have a legitimate market yet.
You know what you're competing with piracy? You're not competing with the price of games. You're competing with the service of piracy. If piracy's better than the service that you offer, people are going for piracy. I'd rather buy my games, but if I'm gonna buy my games, I want full access.
Places like Russia and all across Eastern Europe, for example, years ago you couldn't just go and buy a game legitimately because there was no distribution. People often wonder why very specific games are particularly popular with Russians and why others are not. The answer is that consoles, for example, weren't as common or accessible, but PCs were. Games with low system requirements, often in a genre that would most likely appeal to the people there from a cultural viewpoint, would be pirated and distributed. Markets sold bootleg versions that also included Russian localization, something that again wasn't offered legitimately at the time. As a result, many of my first games were pirated or bootleg versions with Russian localization. This also created an industry for voice actors to be able to produce localized dubbed versions of the games. The Diablo 2 that I played when I was a child was one of these pirated dubbed versions, and despite some weird elements here and there, it was pretty perfect. But piracy also created a market for legitimate distribution down the line. Without piracy, Russian gamers might not have had an interest in a lot of Western titles, and they probably would have just stuck to playing whatever was produced in Russia at the time by Russian studios. And of course now, due to sanctions, piracy is on the rise once again. But it's as Gabe Newell said, the easiest way to stop piracy is not by putting anti-piracy technology to work. It's by giving those people a service that's better than what they're receiving from the pirates. So we fast forward to today, where more options are taken away and no alternatives or solutions are being provided. We now have more incentives for pirating. This goes beyond just people who want to get a game for free. Organizations dedicated to archiving and preserving the history of—
I don't want my games for free. Honestly, I'd rather pay for them. I don't want to just pirate, because piracy is not a better service than the service that I can imagine, which is GOG. I just wish there were more games on GOG, and I wish they had more like an app on Linux like Steam. That would really get me in, which I'm already all in on GOG anyway, but I'll start transferring my Steam library over to GOG if they can, you know, be like Steam. Because I still use Steam for games that I already purchased. I just don't purchase games on Steam anymore.
of video games, something that is incredibly culturally significant and valuable, are saying that this is the only option. We can go back to the discussion on ethics surrounding piracy, but why is it that the consumer always has to be the one to worry about ethics? A major multi-billion-dollar company can make poor decisions. They can invest hundreds of millions of dollars into terrible projects that result in people getting laid off and losing their jobs. They can shut down and pull games that you paid for, or they can straight
I think this video came out before the Xbox layoffs happened.
up kill physical media at a time where no laws have yet caught up to regulate this sort of thing for consumer rights and protections. But the consumer has to feel bad about looking for a solution where no alternative was provided. Archivists like the Video Game History Foundation cannot themselves preserve everything if companies aren't willing to work with them. It's all approached with a sort of carelessness that is just so reflective of how the entire industry operates nowadays. And all of these changes are happening way faster than consumer laws can catch up because they simply do not.
The industry is just money for me. I want all of the money and you're not allowed to have any. And if you do anything that I think, or that you think that I should be doing, and I'm not doing it, well, that's too bad. I'm just not gonna do it. Yeah, fuck you. Make a better service or we will make a better service.
Not care. Game preservation and ownership is important to people like us. For them, it is all about maximizing profits, and that is the profitable thing to do. Even their stock rose when they announced this. But nobody in those companies that actually has the power to do something about preservation of these games is willing to do anything about it. Like I've said, physical media for these live service online games isn't a guarantee, but for offline single-player games, it is an option. And without physical media or piracy, a lot of these games would actually have disappeared by now. One example for me is the Chronicles of Riddick games. So this is the PS3 version. This has Assault on Dark Athena, but it also included the Escape from Butcher Bay campaign. My brother and I had an obsession with the Riddick movies when we were growing up, and then we got a hold of the games, and it was insane that movies and the games both kind of lived up to the hype, at least for us. This is really unique, by the way. It had a very interesting stealth component. It was actually quite hard as well, even trying it recently. It's not an easy game. Very engaging mechanics, loved the story, loved the vibe.
Remember when game companies used to take risks and experiment? That's why we have games like Fear and Metro that just don't come out nowadays. I mean, we got a new Metro. I'm fucking excited for that. But I think Metro is really the only FPS that I can think of that just has crazy different mechanics that nobody else is doing, like wiping your lens on your face, the gas mask mechanic and how it breaks.
The whole aesthetic of the games. You
Fear has that mechanic where you can slide down slopes if you just stand there.
can't buy them anymore. What happened was the license just expired and nobody ever renewed it, so it was pulled from digital storefronts and it stopped selling. The only way to be able to play these games now is if you get your hands on a physical copy, or if you get one of these.
I always bring up Forza Horizon 4 because that's one of my favorite games of all time, and you just can't buy it.
Elusive digital codes that apparently exist, but also I'm not really sure that they do anymore. But what's the other option, boys and girls? Piracy. Video games are art. They deserve to be preserved. It isn't just like a silly little pastime anymore. It hasn't been for decades for a lot of people. Video games are a massive part of our modern day culture. I do hope to see real change in terms of the actual laws around our protections when it comes to these things. But for now, honestly, I'm not even excited about like new updates in terms of technology. The PlayStation 6, it used to sound like such an exciting thing, the next generation of consoles, and you want to see what they've got and how everything looks, but now it's all just disappointment after disappointment. And the more the industry progresses, you'd think that we'd have more convenience and more options, but really, we actually have to go back to things like piracy in order to be able to do something as simple as own or preserve a game. But yeah, that's about it for this topic today. Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe.
PlayStation again. I know. Oh my god, the PlayStation video. I can't believe I'm watching PlayStation.
Fucking
Oh my god,
PlayStation.
Guys, no, listen, we gotta talk about PlayStation because seriously.
Bro, I haven't had a PlayStation since PS3. I got a PS3 to play The Last of Us, played it, and immediately sold the PlayStation 3.
See, something interesting is going down over at the PlayStation main account. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but let's just go over it again really quick for those that may not have seen it. So PlayStation on their main account, they ended up posting about the physical media destruction that everybody's talking about right now. Which, by the way, you guys are doing an amazing job. You need to keep on the pressure because this company has been quiet for 6 days now. They announced this 6 days ago. They haven't said a single thing. This is the longest time they've ever been silent on their social media profiles. 6 days, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not silent now. They said something about a fighting stick and everybody's pissed.
Right, so you guys are doing amazing. But here's the thing.
I need
during
an intro
those
like
6
that.
days, PlayStation ended up getting community noted on their post, right? And that community note
they were still active trying to protect this post.
has been deleted multiple times.
That's
Pirate
funny.
Nation screenshotted 8 different community notes, but I know that it's more. It's way more than just 8 community notes. And it goes to show that PlayStation is actively trying to suppress the conversation that's happening around this situation, because we all know that they want this to be something that is uncontested. They probably didn't think there was going to be this level of backlash. They probably accounted for...
They're out of touch. They don't know what people are like on the internet. They don't know what the internet culture is like.
a little bit, because there usually is, but they didn't realize...
They used to control the culture, but they don't have control of the culture anymore. We make our own culture.
Just what extent this was actually going to go to. So in this segment, what we're going to do is we're going to check out these community notes, see what they're saying, because some of them are such a massive felt for PlayStation that honestly, like, you kind of just have to go over it. And then we're just going to go into some other comments that are being made in response to all of this nonsense going down. So let's talk about it, man. But really quick, before we do, guys, please keep up the pressure. All right. If you're a PlayStation owner, if you're a PlayStation player, or even if you're not.
Dude, I never let the pressure go. I've been on them for years, and I've been on them more and more than I've ever been, because I'm learning how to make content faster.
Not. At the end of the day, people are actively getting together to push back against this nonsense, because realistically, this does in some way, shape, or form affect pretty much every gamer out there. And we are witnessing firsthand one of the greediest moves that we've ever seen. And we've seen a lot. Like, if you've been around in gaming for as long as I have, you have seen pretty much everything. But this is by far one of the greediest moves that we've ever seen ever in gaming history. And they're going to follow suit, right? If PlayStation gets away with it and they're not contested whatsoever, Xbox is going to follow. Everybody's going to follow. Everybody's going to follow. So Pirate Nation says the following. PlayStation now has 8 community notes on the post in over 154 million views, which is more than the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. That's how pissed people are. Remember how excited people were for Grand Theft Auto? All the normies were just losing their mind. They're like, yes, I get to play the same game for the next 15 years, just like I played the same game for the last 12 years. I'm excited. I can't wait. Well, now all of that has gone down the crapper. Not for all of them, but for some of them. Then it says that they have gone completely silent for 6 days. 6 days after the announcement of ending physical media.
That's a fucking lifetime on the internet.
And everyone is waiting for their next move. And that's true. Everybody is waiting for their next move to see what exactly they're going to do and what the response is going to be. And I got to be honest with you, I don't think they're going to do anything at all. I think their next post is going to be a double down about when you can expect XYZ video game to be digital only or whatever. Like, I'm sure it's going to be a double down at this point. So let's see some of these community notes, because they're actually kind of funny. First and foremost, at the top left, it says digital purchases are licenses, not ownership. Sony can revoke access. This raises concerns about long-term ownership, game preservation, resale, lending, and reliance on servers and stores. The software is licensed to you, not sold. You know what the most...
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the software being licensed to me as long as I can do whatever the fuck I want with it, and as long as it's being preserved.
What's amazing about all this, though, and I said this in my last video, is that what this is going to do at the very least is this is going to inform and wake up so many people. Right? Think about it. This post has almost 160 million views. That doesn't necessarily mean 160 million different people saw it, but I guarantee you over 100 million people saw it. That's a lot of people. And most of the people that saw that probably found out from a friend of a friend, and now there are people out there that are being informed about this stuff that really had no idea. There are still so many people out there that buy physical media.
I used to get so much pushback even just a week ago on all this shit, but whenever Sony announced the death of physical games and then all these layoffs keep getting worse and worse and worse, and we keep saying this, and all of the things that we've been saying about Xbox Game Pass being a failure, and they're just lying about it. All of that being true now. Everybody's agreeing with us. We were right the whole time. Nobody's pushing back at me now. And when they do, they're just getting absolutely eviscerated.
Especially on consoles, and they don't even realize that they're just buying a license, because these consoles and these companies, they utilize permanent terms. They utilize terms like buy now, on sale now. They use those terms, which showcases permanent ownership, but you don't actually have permanent ownership of what you're buying and what you're licensing out. They don't use the proper terms because they know if they do use the proper terms like rent this or rent that, they're not going to sell nowhere near as many copies by doing so. So they make sure to utilize the word buy because they can kind of loophole it and say, well, you're buying the license. Well, that's not what it looks like, right? When you're selling the game, you're selling the game. You're not saying that they're buying the license. Yeah, you're saying that in the EULA and you're saying that in the terms of service, but you're not saying that on the store page. On the store page, you're showing the game and they're buying the game. And that's what people are thinking in their mind. So there's an immense amount of people out there that really don't know any better. And what this is going to do is educate those people at the very least. To now they're going to start looking at other options to potentially own their video games if an all digital future is going to be a reality on these consoles. The second one in the middle says the 78-22 digital to physical split. This figure includes all games sold globally, many of which are digital only indie video games, live service titles, DLCs, which are digital only, or smaller projects that never receive a physical release.
DLCs digital only. Remember when Borderlands had a DLC disc? I missed that. And I could just hand it over to my friend, and he can also have the DLC, just install it to his Xbox.
Due to budget constraints. We made a whole video about that, by the way. If you missed that, go check it out on the channel. But basically, we were talking about how the 78-22, 80-20 split about digital-only video games, how 80% of games sold today are digital. That metric is completely skewed. And the reasons why that metric is skewed. We went over all of that. If you missed it, go check out the other video. Then this one in particular, this is amazing. We also went over this. From the Insomniac leak, PlayStation's own single-player video games make up 60 to 77% of physical sales. The data being used to argue for higher digital purchases include DLC expansions, digital-only games such as early access games, and live service video games. So again, all the same information that we've already went over. Now we got the one in the middle left here. Sony's pushing the digital format, limiting physical media and closing its PS3 and PS Vita stores. This will severely damage the secondhand market and retail outlets. It's not going to severely damage it. It's going to kill it. It's going to kill it. There is no way to trade video games that are made past 2028. So everything before then is going to be what's available. There's going to be no new stock or influx of anything new in the retail market for secondhand. Like nothing is going to be available. So after
I don't even care about that. GameStop, people defending GameStop, I don't get it. In Game Exchange, I don't like those places. I don't really like the secondhand market very much because it's a ripoff most of the time, and they sell a bunch of other crap that I just don't like. I like to buy my used games from places like flea markets and thrift shops and Goodwill.
After more and more time goes by, it's going to become harder and harder to access stuff that's basically stagnated. It's only a matter of time, and that's what they're planning on. They want to kill it off so that if anybody wants to buy a video game from them, they have to buy it new through them, or they could buy it on sale through them. But at the end of the day, it's through them. You can't go secondhand for anything anymore. They don't want that. The EU has sanctioned Apple for comparable practices regarding digital rights, and then they link it, obviously, with Europa. And then in the middle says Article 102 of the TFEU, which is the European Union, prohibits a company in a dominant position from abusing that position, particularly by imposing unfair conditions, limiting production or innovation to the detriment of consumers or distorting competition. Well, that's another thing too. Realistically, it is all about distorting competition because the secondhand market is competition to the new market, right? Imagine if you were not allowed to buy and sell used cars. Imagine if you couldn't do that. Imagine
That's
if
coming
the only
soon.
way to get a vehicle is by buying it new. The reason why you have used vehicles to buy at a cheaper price is because somebody ate the cost and bought it new. That's the reason why. It's the same thing with video games. So the reason why you have access to used cheaper video games that are more into some people's budgets and allows them to play more video games is because somebody ate the cost and bought it new. Right? So having that ability is great because it allows that term, like, it just kind of like feeds off each other. There are some people that'll only buy used. There are some people that'll buy used when they have to, but then if they can afford it, they'll upgrade to a new car or something like that. Like it all feeds each other, you know? So now you're going to get to the point where you're basically saying, yeah, we don't want used cars.
It started with the tractors, man, with the John Deeres. Not allowed to work on your own tractors, and then you can't work on your own cars. That's already a thing. Pretty soon, you just won't be able to make money off of your car. You'll have to return it to the dealership. You might get somewhat of a refund, and then they're going to refurbish, and then they're going to sell it at nearly the same ridiculous price. Guarantee that it's coming.
Cars. We only want new cars. So now all the used car dealerships are going to die. They're going to completely die. Or they're going to be buying and selling the same old cars, and eventually they're going to run out of inventory. It's exactly what they want for video games. But anyway, so it says phasing out physical PlayStation on the right side here. Media raises anti-consumer concerns, chiefly the loss of game ownership, which has already been happening, right? Moving entirely digital means users buy revocable licenses rather than permanent assets, allowing Sony to pull access at a will while eliminating resale and preservation. So again, all these notes that they have tried to delete over and over and over and over and over again.
Embarrassing.
Realistically, it doesn't really matter what they try to do. At the end of the day, it's going to keep going up, bro. It's like you're not going to beat the internet at this point. The internet is not going to lose in this scenario. And this is why I keep telling people, you're at the crossroad, right? You do what you want to do. You do what's best for you. And I understand if some people, I got some comments on my video before. So for some people who are PlayStation users and they're like, they would love to go to PC, but right now they're strapped for cash. It's a little difficult. Most of their libraries with PlayStation, so they don't want to let it go. Like, I get all that. I totally understand that. And if it doesn't work out for you, then it doesn't work out. Like, if you want to stick with PlayStation, stick with them. But at least now you can choose to decide if you want to stay or not with more information at your disposal versus being completely just oblivious to what's going on. Right? Like, obviously, not everybody's going to know what's going on, but I think a lot more people are now being informed about what's actually happening, right? The best one is the last two, by the way. If you look, it says Sony's pushing a digital monopoly, ending physical discs and closing PS3 and Vita store turns purchases into revocable licenses under Sony's control. The EU penalized Apple for comparable DMA abuses. PlayStation is eroding ownership and consumer rights the same exact way. And then the last one. Sony has neither the customer support nor the account security to support an all-digital ecosystem. Can we harp on that for a second really quick? The company...
Yeah, that means that they're just going to start deleting games that they can't afford anymore. They're going to start shutting down servers.
That has been hacked the most, right? PlayStation, the company who literally one of their most prominent creators, right? One of their most prominent creators, Colin Moriarty, the guy who just loves PlayStation so much to death, the guy who threatened to quit live streaming if he didn't get access to his PlayStation account again. One of the most prominent PlayStation accounts got hacked internally, by the way. It seems that way anyway. Somebody internally gave access or found a way to give access to a hacker who targeted Colin Moriarty's account, got it taken away from him, and he used all his resources to get his account back in like 48 hours, when realistically they told him, PlayStation support told him, because they don't know who Colin is, obviously, PlayStation support told him, yeah, we're going to work on it. It's going to take a couple of weeks. If it was any normal guy, any normal person without the actual connections, he would have been asked out for weeks, and there's no guarantee he would even got his account back, because there's so many people that got hacked in a similar fashion and didn't get their accounts back. So imagine leaving your entire digital library to a company that not only gets hacked as a network, but then doesn't even
if that kind of thing happens to me, I'm just out on that service.
Give a shit about protecting your own
Which
personal
I'm out on
account
all
in
services.
any way whatsoever. It's crazy, bro. It's like I don't understand why people would feel okay being surrounded by that particular ecosystem, being enclosed in that ecosystem. I just don't get how that's like, I don't know, man.
Nostalgia, probably.
So Colin had to use all of his resources, all of the things that he had under his belt, all the connections to studios, everybody that he could call. He called, and it took like a little over a day to get his account back. but any Joe Schmo would not have been able to get their account back very easily, if at all. It's been proven already. Now, again, is that to say that everybody gets hacked? No, of course not. But what I'm telling you is that this company has the worst history with security. It's not even close. It's not like I'm just saying that to shit on them. That's the literal truth. PlayStation has the worst account security, the worst network security, and you're supposed to trust them with an all-digital
It has been like that since PS3.
Ecosystem, as if they're doing you a favor by doing that? No, of course not. That's insane. That doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. Right? So, again, guys, I think that this is a really good way to display what's going on here. Check this out. Watch this. That's so good, man, because it's accurate. It's so accurate.
The gaming industry is so cooked, man.
It's like, you take one down, we're going to put one right back up. You take another one down, we're going to put one right back up. That's just what it's going to be. And you can keep trying to take it down. You can keep trying to do what you want to do. But realistically, I ain't going to work, man. I don't know if PlayStation doesn't have I don't know if PlayStation has any experience with the internet, but yeah, they think they're going to be able to get away from this one.
I don't think it's really PlayStation. I think it's just everybody at PlayStation and all these people that are in these game studios. They just care about the other people in the game studios and the people in their little bubbles, because everybody else who has any kind of criticism are just labeled haters. And it's like this in the entire industry, in the entire entertainment industry. It's not just in the gaming industry. And I am so glad that we're finally chipping away at all this bullshit.
So again, guys, all I can say is you make whatever decision is best for you. Look at this. PlayStation has been uploading on their YouTube channel, so make sure you head over there and make your voices heard. You do what you want to do, but if you care about the PlayStation platform, if you really cared about the platform, and you weren't just somebody who's out there console warring because you got nothing else better to do, right? If you cared about the platform, you would do everything you possibly could to try to make that platform better. And what's happening right now to that platform is not making it better. It's only making it worse. And if you really want to stick around on that platform, and you can, obviously it's up to you, then you should be out there doing your best to fight for your own platform that you care about so much. Honestly, like, if you want to ditch it, you could ditch it. But if you want to stick around, or if you can only stick around, then you should be fighting all these people and all these shills out there that are telling you that, oh, it's perfectly fine, just let it happen.
You need to push back against the people that are labeling criticism as hate. That is probably the biggest thing, because there's still so many chronic online defenders for these corporations, and they just do it to be against you, and it's making everything so much worse.
The shills out there that are like, I haven't bought any games physically. I buy all my video games full price. Like, yeah, okay. The corporate dick eaters, yeah, they can go to hell. They're not the ones that are going to make your platform.
And most of them are lying anyway.
Better. They're the ones that benefit from people that fight the fight that they don't want to fight. They're the ones that benefit, because at the end of the day, they're just there to make the company feel good about themselves so that they can keep benefiting while you lose. Yeah, no, screw that. If you are somebody who cares about the PlayStation platform, you should be fighting them. Because again, and I've said this all the time, just because you like a platform or just because you like something doesn't mean you have to show for it. It doesn't mean that you have to be a fanboy. Who cares if they feel some sort of way about it? I care about Steam, which is why when they mess up, we criticize them. We call them out on it. We do the same exact thing. It doesn't matter. We say what's good. We say what's bad. We say what's ugly. You should be able to do the same thing with these consoles. And right now, PlayStation is at a point where they feel like they can take advantage of you. They feel like that you're not going to do a damn thing. And they feel like that the people that this actually matters to are smaller than the people that don't care. So right now, with the way that the voices are very loud, they need to stay loud as long as possible, because if PlayStation wouldn't come to social media in 6 days, I feel like that says a lot. It feels like they are essentially trying their best to come up with a strategy behind closed doors, because this company has never gone this long without being on social media. They have never gone this long without posting something.
And I can tell you 6 days, that ain't long enough, man. They're going to have to, I don't know, they're going to have to completely restructure everything and use people who watch Asmongold in their company. That's really all it's going to take. Otherwise, I think they're completely fucked. Every single one of these gaming corpos are completely fucked. They don't know who the culture is that's playing their games. Or they're trying to alienate those people to try and get a new audience because they don't like them. But you can't do that because the audience that you're searching for does not exist.
So they're quiet for a reason, and it's because they know what's about to happen. This picture's hilarious, by the way. They'll be butchered if they post this week. This is hilarious. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta drop it again. It really does go with everything. Look at this, man. Look at this. Gia. You got GOG at the bottom right. Bro, man, Steam's like, oh my god. Everybody's pointing at Steam as the monopoly. Meanwhile, everybody else is shooting themselves. Crazy, bro. It's so insane. Sony wants to go Grand Theft all customers. What's this? Bro, what is this?
What is that?
Oh, man. Her face says it all, man. It says it all. It's so good. It's so good. I believe this must be a record for the longest period Sony has ever stayed silent. It is. It is. Normally they would have said something by now. But anyway, that's basically it, guys. Again, if you care about PlayStation, be out there fighting, right?
Xbox has done gigantic, massive, ridiculous, insanely huge layoffs. And
Fuck yeah,
I
they
said
have.
before, I really think this is deserved. Like, these companies make garbage games that nobody plays. And big surprise, if you do that long enough, you're going to run out of money. So
They still have no idea what they're doing.
anyway, and I'm going to look at it. Yeah, this is a guy. So let's be real. The 4 studios leaving Xbox had 8 years and unlimited resources to make great games, and this is what they came up with.
And we told them, and told them, and told them, and we were just labeled haters. What's with the quality of this? Hold on.
Right, like the easiest thing that you could do.
So we're going to look at these different games, and we're going to see how they did, okay? So the first game is going to be South of Midnight. So
Ooh.
I think that I've shown this one before. Let me see if I can show this. South of Midnight. South of Midnight. Apparently, it also was South of Profit because it had 1,438 players playing. Like, that was the most they've ever had, right?
That's crazy.
So that was obviously. So why did they destroy this company? Well, that's why. Next one, Bleeding Edge. Let's take a look at the gameplay. I don't even know what Bleeding Edge is. Okay, nobody else does either. So
Yeah.
Basically, they had a
I
game.
heard of it.
I guess it came out and then it immediately died. Like instantaneously it died. So more like, I would say bleeding out, but that happened probably over 3 years ago.
That's a lot of racist chuds who killed that game, you know what I'm saying?
So it's dead game. Okay, so let's look at
Yep,
Hellblade
it's because
2,
racist
Senua's
chuds,
Saga.
incels.
So this is another one here. So 3,982 people playing the game. So that's also a really, really bad one. You can see, obviously, the fact that nobody's playing it is another big indicator that it failed. So you can see how, like, nobody, even after the first day, nobody played it, right? And I think this is one of the best indicators that you can tell, is that a really good video game does better and then it does worse, rather than a game just doing worse. Like, I'll give you an example of this.
Borderlands 2?
Arc Raiders is in
Okay.
its flop era right now.
Guess that's an old
But
game.
for a while, it was doing very, very well. Like, this is what a good video game does. Is a good video game, like, and even if it's in a flop era, that doesn't mean that it's like a bad game. It just means maybe people have played it out, right? Like, people are tired of the game. So there, Crimson Desert's another one. Not Simon's Desert, Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert. Okay. So you can see right here, you can see obviously the player base went up and down, right? And so you can see very clearly you had people come back, people are playing the game again, it had big boosts for the weekends, and that was it. So basically, that's the reason why this one. So Double Fine. Let's see Double Fine. I think Double Fine refers to the 2 games they made, and the fine refers to the cost on Xbox. But we'll go ahead and find out. So maybe this is the game, Double Fine Studios. Well, it seems like things aren't fine after all.
They're double not
191
fine.
players 9 months ago, and there's only 20 people playing the game right now. Well, that's not very good. Let's look at Kiln.
But
Let's take a look at
Psychonauts-
that one, okay?
Psychonauts, guys! They made Psychonauts! We gotta keep them alive! Because don't you remember? That's the biggest problem, I think, with people who glaze all these games. It's the member berries. But they made this thing this one time,
We'll see how well this game is doing. Kiln, 193 people playing the game. Do you remember this retarded game where you would be able to make different cups and have them fight against each other? Do you know who
that
this
shit's
appealed
stupid.
to? Nobody, because nobody cares about it. It was a stupid idea, and whoever greenlit it was a retard. And now that retard is out on his ass, and
But they were making things that they want to play, not what you want to play, Asmongold. Well, their interests suck.
so is everybody else that agreed with them, which is a good thing. Losers lose. Absolutely no one. Yeah, nobody wants this garbage. Nobody wanted this garbage. Keeper. Let's take a look at Keeper. How does this look? Oh,
The only people who wanted that garbage was people who were just checking it out on Game Pass. And Xbox announced that Game Pass was a complete fucking failure this whole time, like we said it was.
okay, so this is Keeper. What do you do? What do you do in the game? You just
What do
walk
you even
around your
do?
lighthouse? The visuals are really cool, but like, where's the video game? Where's the video game? Where are
But it
the
looks
video
good.
games? Like, I don't understand this. Yeah.
It looks good. Oh, I'm so hyped for this. Look how amazing it looks. The visuals.
I keep it to yourself. Yeah, that's what they should have done. So, do we have access to Game Pass stats? Game Pass stats will be roughly reflected on Steam viewership, but obviously it's not going to be like a 1-for-1. So we're not really looking like, I mean, think of a video game that was, okay, Stalker 2. Was Stalker 2 on Game Pass?
It was.
Yes. Was Expedition 33 on Game Pass?
I don't know. Was it? I think it was.
Was Doom the Dark Ages on Game Pass?
Definitely was, yes.
Even this one was a bit of a flopperooski. I think these guys are going to get fired too.
Huh.
Yes. Okay. Was Starfield? So I don't want to hear any Xbox Coperino. Okay. I don't want to see a single one of that. We all know.
But remember,
we all know it's not Game Pass. It's not Game Pass. It's the games being bad. So that's it. And yeah, guys, the Alice Madness Returns has more for an 11 the game. I don't know
That's a
about
good
that.
game.
So all of these video games that these companies made were just hot garbage, worthless trash.
Oof.
That's literally about it.
Hurts.
Crazy how Doom sold less than Starfield. Well, yeah, because the Starfield, like, I mean, Bethesda hasn't made a big open world. Like, Starfield was supposed to be a big game. It was supposed to be good. They put a huge...
It just wasn't as good as Fallout. It didn't have the same soul. People want something like Fallout from Bethesda, and it was just not that. It kind of was similar in a lot of ways, but boring, because it felt really corporate. And it didn't help that they kind of modeled everything after the vibes of NASA, which is corporate government.
Huge amount of marketing into it. I'm not surprised by that. Doom the Dark Ages really just, in my opinion, I really think it was a mediocre game. I'd rate it a 6.
I didn't play it.
I'd give Starfield a 6
I didn't even like Doom Eternal.
too, but Starfield was a more comprehensive 6. Doom was like okay, I guess I'll give it a 6, right? It's people saying pass to the game. Again, yeah, people don't want to play it, man. That's literally it. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just so fucking annoying for me to look at this. But anyway, it was supposed to be a PS exclusive, but then Xbox got it. Didn't Starfield come with a lot of PCs? Yeah, it did, actually. So you had those games, right? So you had, these were the studios that they got rid of that made complete garbage. And this is the statement that was made by Asa Sharma. Now, she is the one...
They're not gonna come back, by the way. This is gonna get worse.
She is the Grim Reaper. She is the enforcer.
And it ain't over
She
yet.
is the reality check.
Not even close.
This is the modern audience destroyer. Yeah. I have been waiting on this for years. And finally, yes. And so anyway, W's statement, ironically, this is what she wrote out to everybody at Xbox. Team, we are beginning the most significant restructure in Xbox history. After careful consideration, I've made the difficult decision.
It's the significant restructure that didn't go hard enough, and it's still gonna completely fucking destroy them.
To reduce our team by approximately 3,200 around fiscal
enough.
year 2027.
Ain't enough.
This will include approximately
You're gonna have to cut 80%. If it ain't 80%, then you're fucking up.
1,600 role eliminations today. Rapture!
Not even
You're out,
close.
bitch! It's over.
Disagree.
You're done. In
We got a
addition,
long while.
4
Slow death.
studios will leave Xbox to new management. There will be 4 sacrifices made. It's a low number. We had expected more, but that's it. And a great purge.
More
yes,
coming.
I
Yeah.
recognize a year-long restructuring creates additional challenges. So she's saying that you have a year left. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's gonna be gone soon. And Xbox is even, yeah, double it and give it to Ubisoft. Ubisoft already took it. They did. I'm gonna try Black Flag today. The game, I got an early copy. Shout out to Ubisoft for not being pussies and giving me one. And so I'll play it, and we'll see if Ubisoft is gonna get more layoffs today or not. Right? I don't know.
They will.
They said they did ask.
I think they spent too much money. It doesn't even matter if Asmongold likes it.
I got the brief for it. They said, please don't give a full review of the game until, because like they said they only want you to play like the beginning of it, so it's not like a spoiler, right? But you know, like it should be more than enough for at least like today and tomorrow streaming. But like just because I know how long it is, so I won't like give a definitive thing, because I do want to respect obviously the agreement. But the moment that the embargo's over, which is in I think 2 days, then I will give my full opinion, right? And so I'll give my first impressions, though. Of course I will. Obviously I will. So, yes, definitely. Spoiler. Well, I think it's really just about the evaluation of the quality of the remake, right? But I'll give my opinion. So anyway, this is your moment to enjoy. Yes, this is my this is the moment. This is, I mean, if you didn't know already, bro, like, if you didn't know, now you know. Xbox employees, former Xbox employees, you know, like, it's just, that's it. And props yeah, props to Ubisoft. This is what this is, guys. It is the chud. It is the year of the chud. It is the year of
chud
the chud
victory.
boys. Didn't see this coming. Yeah. And the last pre-copy Asma never gets. No, I get them pretty regularly, honestly. I do. So it took a woman to outchud these people. It's your Oblivion remastered, and I'm looking forward to it. I really hope so. So let me continue. All right, home to yeah. Welcome home to the post, please. In addition,
Oblivion Remaster is still broken, by the way.
4 studios will leave Xbox to new management. I recognize the Euro showing. Unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in one day. She says the amount of executions is too great.
Yeah, it ain't over.
The toll was too high, and we have to kill you systematically over the course of a year. Who are you? When do you leave? You'll know the day that you leave. It has to be slow. It has to be painful. That way you know that you earned it. I know this is painful. Ah, there it is. These changes will directly affect people who have poured their creativity into building Xbox. Well, not really though, right? Many joined us through acquisitions while others were recruited here or sought us out because they loved this industry and loved Xbox. Today's decisions do not reflect their talent or dedication. I think they do.
You shouldn't have loved Xbox. You should have loved the people that would be playing your games.
I think they do, actually. So when I look at the talent and dedication that these games had, it really doesn't. The only thing they seem to be dedicated at and dedicated to and talented at is not having people play their video games.
Yeah, because they're focused on gay shit.
That, I feel like they're really good at it, but like otherwise, I really just don't think they're that great at really anything. I mean, let's be honest, guys.
Based.
Look at this.
Based
Oh,
and
this
true.
is Crimson Desert. Yeah, look at these other games. I don't know if I can pull it up. But yeah, I mean, these get like bleeding at 1,400, 3,000 players, 1,400 players. It's so over. Like, even Avowed did better. Like,
even Avowed. Imagine.
look at Avowed. Avowed got 20,000 players. Like, for however bad you think Avowed was, like, it just blew these other games out of the water.
That's crazy.
That's still awful? Well, it's not awful enough to have Obsidian close. I mean, like, Avowed was a...
It is, actually. I just don't think they've gotten to it. Or they're still completely out of touch and don't realize that they need to close that fucking studio. I still see people all the time, whenever they talk about Obsidian, even big publications, they always bring up Fallout New Vegas, or they'll use Fallout New Vegas as the thumbnail for whatever the post is about Obsidian. They just can't get away from it. They gotta shut it down.
Avowed was a above average game, but it was just not a amazing game. It was just a very
Spent too much
it was
money.
it was a chat GPT game. Avowed was a chat GPT game. That's the best way I could explain it. So
That they
it's
spent
Obsidian game that
400
carries
million
weight.
on.
Yeah, and also the studio's made other good games before, right? Check Outer Worlds 2. Well, Outer Worlds 2 was a lesser success, but it was still decent. What's Binding of Isaac at? Binding of Isaac. Let me see. Binding of Isaac.
That's an old one.
Wow. Wowee.
That's an old game.
So for some reason, this game has just totally popped off. I really don't know why. I probably should have played it already. I should have. I haven't because I'm just a piece of shit. But yeah, that's about it. Can we get the weekly marathon check-in? Oh, it's not weekly at this point. It's almost it's every day, bro. Like so marathon.
It's every day, bro. Like Logan Paul. Oh shit! What? It was at 7,000 last I checked.
Wow.
That's bad.
Check Skyrim Special Edition.
Oh no. Fuck, dude. That's more than Borderlands 4. That's so bad.
A single-player game made 15 years ago is still getting 33,000 players.
Can you check the old version of Skyrim? I bet it's still got more players. I bet it's got at least, like, 7,000.
Every single fucking day. Oh my god.
It's every day,
Jack
bro.
Destiny 2, that's how it be. That do be how it is. And so,
Doobie
yeah,
doobie
that's
doo.
a fun game. I guess so.
Doobie doobie doo.
Bungie continuing to Greek tradition of dying after a marathon. That's, God. Jesus Christ. Okay, so anyway, so you've had all this stuff happening, and marathon apparently somehow it's trending. I don't know how that happened. Let me go back to the original statement, okay? I keep getting distracted. I apologize. I'm sorry. Our business today is not healthy. Wow.
How about that?
Wow. She just came out and said it. We are operating at margins that are 3 to 10x lower than the comparable platform and publishing businesses. We entered Gen 9, I'm assuming this is like the new Xbox era, with a smaller install base and a higher cost structure. To grow, we bet on Game Pass, multi-platform, and a broader portfolio of content. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow at the pace that we expected. As that happened, our core business weakened, and we added more teams, more investment, more time, hoping for a better outcome. So this is kind of like the idea of if you're if you're fat, if you eat enough food, you'll lose weight. Well, apparently it didn't work. It just seems like they got fatter and now they're sick.
Fuck
and
yeah.
so, and now the industry is facing the most severe hardware crisis in its history. The great reset. We must reset Xbox. Oh my God.
I think that they're gonna crumble. I don't think that they actually reset enough.
Wow. Press the button. Turn it off and turn it back on again. The chuddening. Exactly. The great reset. First, we will reset our content portfolio. Since 2018, we have aggressively expanded our studio portfolio, while the number of games created each month across the industry now outpaces the last 10 years combined. That's true. A lot of people make video games now. We now find ourselves competing not only with the largest publishers, but also with smaller independent studios. It is neither possible nor desirable to own every great independent studio. That's true. Yeah, it's too many, you know, like, I don't know, like you're managing too many things, right? And we've learned that we are not the best home for every type of studio. In a typical year, we lost 64 cents for every dollar that we invested.
That's crazy. Almost half? That's fucking insane, dude.
Oh my God. So you spend $1 to lose 64 more cents. So imagine spending $100 to lose $64. That's crazy.
That's how I feel whenever I buy video games at full price, which I don't do.
It's like reverse inflation. Yeah, it's really bad. It's 2/3 profit. Yeah. In studios they invested in so far. Exactly. And so, where is it? Sorry, I lost track of where I was at. As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeed by providing open development tools and audiences to realize their vision. Let me explain to you guys one of the reasons why it failed. Can you create a graph, a line graph that shows the amount of employees Xbox has had from 2016 to now. Okay. So I'm going to show y'all what the issue is. Why not let it die? Well, because Xbox is it's a good brand. It's just not that big, right? It's overvalued.
I'm fine with letting it die. I don't care. I ain't buying anything Xbox ever.
Okay, let's see.
Ever.
Is it? What the fuck is that? Do the graph. Like, I told you to do the graph. Like, why would you not do
it,
the graph?
robot.
I don't care about this. The fuck is this?
Fucking clanker. Listen to me. I am human. I am your master.
Damn. There it is.
That's pretty
So
graphic.
there you go, guys. And stocks down? Yeah, I guess so. And this is obviously whenever they bought Xbox. And, like, you can see very clearly, like, they went up massively whenever they were, during COVID even, right? And so,
So many people did.
That apparently didn't work. So we'll go ahead. We'll read the other ones. So these are the studios that will be sent into the void.
Are they going to get rid of the gay shit? If they're not going to do that, they're still fucked. You got to get all the gay out of Halo. You can't have Galo anymore.
As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeed by providing open development tools and audiences to realize their vision. Compulsion Games and Double Fine Productions will return to management and transition to independent studios with their
They ain't
IP
gonna survive.
catalog.
Like, they're not making games, so how are they going to make themselves any money?
And runway for their next games. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs
That
now
pisses
have
me off.
entered terms into
Ninja Theory and Undead Labs pisses me off because they made State of Decay 2 was kind of gay, but they made State of Decay 3 super gay. And I was looking forward to Senua. I love the first two games. They're like really good $5 titles.
to new ownership with funding to compete and grow Senua and State of Decay 3. In France, Arcane's management is beginning required consultation with Works Council to review potential strategic. Okay, so they're done.
Yeah, they're fucking done. They haven't had a good game since Dishonored.
It's over. This is the most passive Corpo speak to "it's over" I've ever heard. Reviewing potential strategic options. It's so done.
Selling off properties.
So we are also
If they could sell off Dishonored to somebody who could do some good, I'd love that.
making reductions across other units, and in some cases, shifting investment to focus on higher priority projects. These changes vary in size across Activision, Bethesda, ZeniMax, Blizzard, King, Mojang, and Xbox Gay Studios. None of their first-party publicly announced games or projects are being canceled as part of these reductions. That's probably a good thing to mention. I think that's good, obviously. And, in addition, Mojang and King will now report directly to me.
Oh, is that Candy Crush?
They're actually going all in with mobile games. They're actually going to become, dude.
Don't fuck with Minecraft. Actually, I don't care. As long as I'm able to play the old versions of Minecraft, I don't care. You can fuck it up.
Mojang,
They're gonna, though.
just so you guys know,
Mobile
what games,
Minecraft's
what
already
games
fucked.
do Mojang and King make? Like, I just want you guys to see. It's a Candy Crush and Bejeweled, right? Like stuff like that. And so, like, Mojang and King are both Xbox. So Mojang makes I don't know it's Minecraft. Like, I'm so stupid. Why did I think it was fucking Bejeweled? Well, anyway, Minecraft and King obviously makes Candy Crush.
Yeah, Minecraft doesn't really make any money anymore. They have to use, like, other properties to actually make money, like a Minecraft movie. They have to make Minecraft dungeons. Minecraft Story Mode was their first venture into making something outside of Minecraft. Because Minecraft, once everybody buys it, it's hard to get them to pay more money.
Pet Rescue Saga, yeah, that's definitely a girl game. So anyway, Minecraft and Candy Crush are going directly under the wing of Xbox. They're going to take very good care of you, Minecraft. They're going to take good care of you, Candy Crush. And all these other bullshit games for modern audiences, well, you're gone. It's over. I know you're happy because they fired because they make bad games. How do we get good games, though? How do we get good games? We exist. We exist in the market.
Yep.
We
Make
say,
games for
I
us?
want a good game.
Yep.
And we wait for somebody to say, okay, here's a good game. That's it. That's all it takes. And then eventually Elden Ring appears.
And that's the problem, man. I still haven't played Elden Ring, and I know I'm gonna fucking love that game, but there's so many other games that I haven't played because I'm a poor bitch. I can't just buy every game that comes out, especially the overpriced full price games, which I'm not saying Elden Ring is overpriced, but I still just can't fucking afford to pay that much for a video game.
I don't know. Minecraft appears.
Yep.
Dragon's Dogma 1 appears.
Minecraft is like $25. No Man's Sky appears.
Skyrim appears. Black Myth Wukong appears. And eventually, the good games, they show up. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That's correct. So you mean the consumers will get what they will get the products they ask for? What? Yes, that's correct. The consumers will get the products they ask for to the extent that they buy them. So we're also making reductions. Mojang and Kane would report directly to me. These two studios have increasingly become platforms and are our largest bi-monthly active players. They bring in critical geographic.
I think all of this happened because of Expedition 33, actually. When that game came out and completely wrecked the industry, it's just been downhill for them ever since.
Demographic and differentiation to Xbox. Second, we will reset our platform. We know that today, great technology. Oh, sorry, give me a second.
Reset as in, like, go back to Xbox 360? If you're not gonna do that, then, no. I'm out. Bring back the blades.
Technology gets better when it gets simpler and not bigger. Today, in some parts of the company, work passes through as many as 14... I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. 14 layers of management.
That's
our platform
fucking
teams
insane.
are still 40% larger than they were at the start of this generation. Even as our player base and playtime have declined, that complexity has slowed decisions, blurred accountability, and made it hard. This is exactly what I've been saying the whole time.
And this is exactly what people have been pushing back against us saying, because I've also been saying this, not just Asmongold.
Fucking exactly. Yes.
Bloat. It's called bloat.
Do you
Corpo
remember?
Bloat.
This is what's crazy. Where is it?
Office Space.
I don't know if this is the part.
Yeah, I have the memo right here. I just,
No, it's not. It's later on when they're doing the interview. Well, anyway, it was a literal joke in 1999 that this guy had to go through 7 bosses. So think about that.
They wouldn't know that because none of the people that work at these companies anymore have watched movies like Office Space. They don't know what the real culture is like. They're in their own little bubble.
And then double it.
And they hire their friends.
Welcome to Xbox. It was literally a joke back then. And now it's twice as many. It's 8 bosses? Oh, it's not quite double, right? Just 7, exactly. I have 8 bosses, Bob. Yeah, there it is. It's just insane for me to see this. So 14 different groups of people, 14 layers. That complexity is slow collision. As we reset Xbox, we will need to simplify. We will reduce management layers to no more than 5. So that means that literally most of the management will go. Because if you're at 14 and you go down to 5...
Shouldn't even be 5. It should be 1.
You've got to lose over half your people, right? I mean, that's that.
They need to be cutting 80%.
It's the math, right?
80% of
So,
everything.
Oh my God. So they're actually getting rid of, even that's too much? Well, it depends on what they mean by management levels, right? I mean, this could still mean like a high-level approval process that would be mandatory. But anyway, and where possible, 3. We will deliver success through a flatter organization that is built around makers, individual contributors focusing on building, player coaches, leaders who remain deeply involved with the work while developing your teams, and
they need to be involved with the culture and not just labeling everything as hate.
Directly responsible individuals, DRIs, who own key decisions and outcomes. So
that's all bullshit.
So that means, oh, dude, I haven't heard something like this in a long time. That is brutal. So now it's basically like your head is being assigned to every decision that's happening. This is a crazy level of accountability. I've never seen a company say this publicly before. I really haven't.
Yeah, there's a reason. Because it doesn't fucking work.
Maybe Elon has said this, but like that's about it. The modern audience hates accountability.
But Elon cut 80% and it worked. That's what Xbox needs to do.
And we will streamline.
And they need to turn off Game Pass and turn it into the like PlayStation Plus, where you get like free games every month or something.
How we work across our tools with a cleaner code base, shared services, and 50% vendor spend. Third, we are resetting how we operate. As Xbox grew our headcount, we became more fragmented. Team studios and functions often operated independently, and it became harder to work towards a shared goal, making the right trade-offs and getting things done. For the first time, we are establishing a chief operating officer with an end-to-end products and P&L. What is this?
Coup!
Why am I not thinking of like what profit and loss responsibility? Profit and loss responsibility across continent, hardware, platform, and services. Helen Chang has been promoted to this role and will report directly to me. And over nearly 2 decades at Xbox, Helen's helped build some of our.
I think that Asha is putting herself at the head of too many things. She's not going to be able to keep up.
Most important businesses, from Xbox Live to leading Mojang and the Microsoft franchise. It sounds like Helen knows what she's doing. And she will bring our businesses together as we are operating under one model, making sure that we're clear on investment decisions, learn from successes and failures, and hold ourselves accountable. Thank you to Dave McCarthy, who is retiring after 17 years with Xbox. Dave has played a defining role in building the platform and millions of players rely on every day. As a trusted partner through many moments of Xbox's history, we wish him all the best. These changes are about a bigger future for Xbox, not a smaller one. The next decade of gaming will be larger, more global, and more creative than anything we've ever seen. This year, we'll invest as much into Xbox as we ever have, but we'll invest with greater focus, greater discipline, and greater clarity, all in the service of making Xbox where the world plays and creates.
They're not actually cutting. They're still going to be spending the same amount of money. They're just cutting people so they can still spend that amount of money instead of actually trying to make things better. Like, they're not releasing anything new. It's just all sequels, prequels, reboots, and they're spending $300 million plus on all these properties. It's not going to fucking work.
I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day and gives everyone the opportunity to create and connect. I know we can achieve this goal. Yeah, I'm sure you can lock in 1 out of every 7 or 8 people in the world playing Xbox every day. Yeah, sure, Asha. Yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But hey, you know, like, at least they're trying to do something, okay?
Yeah, they're so out of touch.
Right. Xbox has many of the most beloved franchises in entertainment history.
Who cares?
To talented studios around the world.
Make
and we
new
will return
things.
to growth in 2027. History is full of companies that mistake longevity for inevitability. We will not be one of them. Damn. That's crazy.
It's meaningless.
God. Wow.
I'm not giving them an inch.
She's fixing over a decade of Xbox tragedy.
No, she's not.
Xbox has been mismanaged for a really long time. The main thing they need to do, here's the main thing they need to do. You need to make a very good version of Gears and a very good version of Halo.
No.
If Gears and Halo are
new.
unhealthy.
Make a new Halo. Use a new protagonist. Don't even call it Halo. Just be like, this is the spiritual successor that exists inside the universe. They could do that even. I'd really prefer them not to put it in the universe. Make something like Gears of War that isn't Gears of War, that's like the spiritual successor. We used to do that. Whenever a new generation would come out, we would make the spiritual successor of the last generation. It's like Spyro moving on to Ratchet and Clank. And it's like Ratchet and Clank moving on to Infamous.
That's like your heart and your brain. That is the heart and the brain of Xbox. If those games are bad, then Xbox is bad. Then you have a handful of other games that are like...
Or was it Sly Cooper to Infamous? You get the point, though.
Underneath that build up the Xbox brand. Things like, for example, Elder Scrolls.
And, like, remember Prince of Persia? Moving from Prince of Persia to Assassin's Creed? We didn't just get a continuation of Prince of Persia.
Things like now World of Warcraft and other games like that. But it's mainly the games that are associated with Xbox, the games that you bought an original Xbox for or an Xbox 360. What were those games? Gentlemen,
we still play those games. They need to make new games because we're not playing the new versions of those games.
Tell me in chat right now, what was the game that you bought an Xbox for? Forza is another one. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know why.
Resident Evil 5. That's what I bought an Xbox for.
I didn't mention that. Everybody's saying Halo. Halo and Gears. Fable. That's another one.
Fable's good.
Black Ops. And, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing all those, but they're making shit versions of them. They need to move on.
everybody knows, right? Gears, yes. Like, I mean, let me just prove my point here. Maybe I won't prove my point, but let's find out.
All of those franchises failed. Well, Fable didn't because they just kind of destroyed it with Fable 3. But all of those franchises failed through Xbox One. And then here we are in this generation, it's failing even harder. And you know what they're doing? They're tripling down on them. Like, come on, give me a fucking break.
I want to find out and see how many people are playing this. Okay, create poll. Why did you buy... Just a minute, I just realized something. I just realized something. I still had my CD key on my copy paste clipboard, and I knew that if I was about to copy paste something, it would actually show my CD key. I had to change that. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't want to show that, but it's okay. Why did you buy your Xbox? Okay. Why? Well, what game? What game? Halo, Gears, other. Almost got a free copy. Yeah. Okay. So it probably wouldn't have worked, but we're gonna look right now. All right. So there it is. Just other. All I want is other. Like, if you bought it for Halo, Forza, whatever else, that's fine. These games are Xbox. They are Xbox.
They were Xbox. I think he's wrong about this. They need to make new stuff.
Halo has sold more games, more Xbox.
Because you know what's going to happen? They might be able to make something good for a little bit. And then the corporate and shitification just creeps all the way back in again.
Is what people
you gotta
in
prevent
my chat
that.
are saying is that Halo has sold more Xboxes than every single other video game put together. 51% of people bought an Xbox because of Halo. That is fucking ridiculous. Think about that. That's crazy. Gears was 360, to be fair. Yeah, I know that. Halo 3 was the biggest ever. Yeah. From the Unk Gen, mind you. Well, yeah, but the Unk Gen are the ones, the Unk Gen. I like that. That sounds like a race in Halo, like one of the Covenant, forces. The Unk Gens. Send in the Unk Gens. Like, oh my god. I bought a PS4 because of Bloodborne. Yeah, I did too. I did. That's the only reason I have a PS4. If it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't even have one. So, yeah, this is the right decision. This is the right decision and the right path for Xbox. And remove the parasite woke devs and DEI programs. Start making better games with no activism in them, and you will make things start to heal for Xbox. So this is my advice. If you're ever thinking about making a female character in a video game,
don't.
Ask yourself, would girls that have OnlyFans cosplay this character? If the answer to that question is no, delete the character.
That's so true, man.
That's it.
Your character doesn't have to be Gooner bait, but it has to be able to have the capacity to be Gooner bait.
That's the beginning and end of it. That's all there is to it. And I think that overall, the most successful games have attractive female protagonists. They do. And at least female protagonists that people want to be, right? And she's either hot or she's not. Yeah, you don't want to have, every time you have the female protagonist is Deborah Wilson or some other bald woman or something like that, there's like 3 women in the world that look good bald, and all of the rest of them look fucking disgusting and nobody likes it. Nobody wants to look at it. So just don't do it. Yeah, Cortana, right? Bayonetta. So that's it. Not true. Tifa's mid. Well, that's not true. Anyway, the complexity of the industry has never been the issue. The problem is you keep pandering to minorities and making games for people that never buy them. Make good games. Based VTuber, by the way. Very based VTuber. And
that's been happening
start.
More and more.
The easiest solution is to just look for the pink-haired devs that are destroying your IP and send them on their merry way. People want good games, but the shoved ideologies into what could be good stories is why your revenue is down. I really think this is a huge factor. I do. Like, I think that, like, whenever I see these video games, like, I don't know about you guys, but, like, maybe I'm, like, I don't think that everybody is like this, but I think a lot of people are like this. Like, we see some of these, like, these like, weird wokeness stuff in games, and, like, I just kind of feel myself, like, not really want to play it as much. It's not, like, a really big feeling, or, like, I don't really care about it in, like, a big way. It's just like, you know what?
That's
like,
the
I'm
point.
not really that interested in that, and, you know, like, anything else, like, I don't really want to... I just don't want to
and
play
everybody's
it, right?
thinking that.
Like, it's like a fly in your soup. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just, I just don't want to have that happen. The game's playing you. Yeah, no doubt. And so, regarding Arcane, how much I'm asking for a friend. Wow.
Isn't the original guy from Arcane trying to buy Arcane? That'd be pretty fucking cool.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Or was that
Please
what that
kill
was?
them. Yeah. Yeah. Today, lay off 3,200 people. Next year, sponsor 3,200 H-1B Indians. Yeah, I have to admit, this lady boss has some balls. Credit where credit is due for making the hard choices and being extremely transparent with not only the choices, but the reasoning behind them. That's true. I mean, like, honestly, I love how, like, all of the... It's actually really funny that all of the most racist and fucking awful, the most chudded out of their mind, fucking people inside of like gaming, they're now all cheering and happy about an Indian female that's running Xbox and firing everybody. It really goes to show that like it actually never really was about hating women ever. It was about hating a certain kind of people. And that was it. Hell yeah. Yeah. It's just really funny to see. Like, it's like some kind of like poetic thing where it's like your savior, the person that's actually willing to do this, is the person that you would least expect, right? Yeah, chuds without borders, exactly. When it's highly logical and clocks the customer's perspective, it's really easy to just say how it is. Yeah, exactly, bro. Like, exactly. I thought you were maybe a DEI CEO, but I was wrong. There's another one. You really have some gusto, and you are putting Xbox on a path to its former glory. Yeah, a lot of people thought that. Like, the moment that we saw there's like an Indian
I'll believe it when I
put
see
as
it.
CEO of Xbox, we're like, okay, all right, I see what you're doing here, right? That's why they hired her. She's a homewrecker and contracted to downsize the company. She's probably only on contract for 2 years, and they'll hire a new CEO to manage the business aspect. Well, maybe you're right. I have no idea. But it also probably depends on how people like her. I mean, this is a public role position, and it's a public-facing position, so I think that does matter. It definitely has a role. So, yeah, that's really it. And the core demographic of games has remained unchanged since the early 80s. I think that's generally true. Yeah, this is good, but for it to work for you, you must change your company policies to stop driving away your core audiences. So, yes, are your female characters equipped with clothing and armor to fit their...
All the older dudes that I know that still play video games, they don't play anything new. They're talking about getting their next emulator machine. What mini PC is the best? Which version of Raspberry Pi should they get?
tasks, do they have exaggerated body proportions? If the answer is no, they don't have exaggerated body proportions, then you just might as well not even sell the game. Just don't even do that. Blizzard has been striving for this result ever since this happened. That's right. They need to fire a lot of the Blizzard people, too. Like, they obviously don't know how to make WoW. And Slay, everybody loves it, man. Fire the entire HR department and hire some college bros like that like monster trucks, guns, and big tits to make.
That's so true. We need some MX games again, man.
The guy follows me.
Extreme sports. They
That's
don't
right,
do that.
brother. So true. Make some good quality AAA, AA games with 10 to 6 hour campaigns, just like Space Marine 2. That's probably what he's thinking of. Stop policing lobbies. The company will be fixed and making a good profit again in 2 to 3 years. That is exactly right. I am so happy and so glad that this is happening. Where's my monster truck games, brother? I don't know, man. And one of us, massive part of the ESO team just got laid off. Yeah, I guess so. And also, do you want to know why Elder Scrolls Online is probably getting layoffs? Let me consult
nobody
the crystal
buys it?
ball. Yep.
Yeah.
That's probably about right. I mean, like, really, MMOs are dead, yeah. Posting the entire email is a really smart move, honestly. It comes across as genuine and the comments reflect it. The best way to ensure success is to fire the people responsible for getting us this far and hire a bunch of new people that have no clue about how to make a successful product. This is the way. Yeah, and hearing of Xbox strategy revolves around Minecraft, reportedly used to funding other studios. Well, yeah, that's... The thing is that Minecraft is supposed to be like this is like Minecraft is a cash cow. Minecraft generates revenue for them to take new risks to hopefully generate the next Minecraft. That's the whole point behind it. I don't know why people don't get this, but anyway,
next Minecraft
y'all need
property.
a guy like this making decisions.
They're not going to make a new Minecraft, like a Minecraft 2. That's never going to happen.
Not corporate executives. This is actually true. This guy right here, he knows what Xbox needs. They need to have an entire, an entire, like, service of these guys, right? Where'd they get this photo of me? Yeah. Fucking exactly. Oh my god. As after a hair transplant for 10 years? No, I'm not going to get fat. That would never happen. Have you guys tried making games that don't suck ass? Do you guys, do people like being preached at? I'm not sure if they do or not, but, oh my god. Oh my god. Really? Like, is this really what you guys are trying? I had a mod send me this. That's crazy.
All right. I like Lord of the Rings memes.
That's really crazy. Wow. Yep. Oh my god. And who is that? I don't know, guys. I have no idea. And wow. And my controller? Yeah, I don't get it. That's okay. That's fine. And yeah. And nothing will beat Call of Duty World War II, 17 D-Day. I mean, I think they've had a lot of really good releases. They have. And anyway, let's take a look. Bethesda will be overhauled. And as part of today's changes to focus on key franchises going forward, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein.
Quake is a crazy one. Because the last time they made a Quake game, it was that tournament game, and it did not do well.
So basically, Starfield is dead.
Yep. That was another thing I noticed.
It's done.
Didn't mention Starfield.
Starfield is finished. That's about time, honestly.
I thought Starfield was right up there with Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
Honestly, like I feel like
that's what one of the devs said
a long time ago with Starfield, and finally getting Elder Scrolls 6. Do you think Xbox? What is this here? Do you think Xbox is due for a new mascot?
We don't need an Elder Scrolls 6, by the way. We need like an Elder Scrolls New Vegas. We need a bunch of smaller games. I am so tired of having these giant games, and then there's nowhere to go after because you don't know how to make it bigger and better. You got to make smaller games so you can make more of them. They had it figured out in the PS2 and Xbox 360 days, and they fucking lost it so they can chase a wider audience to make as much money as possible, and then they made their money and realized there's nowhere to go from there.
Xbox has a mascot. It's called Master Chief. Master Chief is the mascot for Xbox.
True.
Like Mario
Marcus
is the
Phoenix.
mascot for...
It's either Marcus Phoenix or Master Chief, and I think actually, really, it's both of them.
For Nintendo, Master Chief is the mascot for Xbox. Who is the mascot for PlayStation? Maybe Kratos, God of War.
Yeah.
Like I would say maybe him. I'm not even really sure, but it's probably him. And it's probably Kratos. And so John Sega is, Spider-Man. No, Astrobot. Yeah, Astrobot will be if they make a couple more games. But like, I think that a generational franchise would probably be necessary for that. The Xbox reset, the Great Reset. ESO, here it is. ESO laid off half of its team today. If you've ever enjoyed the game in any way, let these people know. Your hard work and creative efforts helped make something that brought joy to millions of people. They didn't deserve to be unceremoniously tossed out for shareholder value. Why do they always do this?
That's not why they got tossed out. They got tossed out because they're not making enough fucking money, and they're spending too much money.
Why do they always do this? Where it's like this, like it's so annoying. By the way, who is doing these polls in chat? Which mod is doing the polls in chat? Because sometimes we have a lot of polls in chat. We don't need this many polls in chat. I'm not sure who's doing these, but we don't need to be doing these. Okay? There's too many. We don't want to go through and figure out who's the imposter. We want it, like, which mod is doing it. Let me see. I don't know who's online or what it is, but we're gonna have to either the polls either need to stop or we're gonna have to unmod like everybody. We're gonna have to unmod everybody and we're gonna have to play Among Us. Okay. So I don't want to have to do that. Just no more of the polls. All right. We're gonna get rid of the polls and that's it. So yeah. And new mod list. Yeah, I know you guys. I know you guys think it's funny, but no more polls. So anyway, yeah, and unless it's like a normal one, and I feel like it's gone on for a lot. And I know that you guys, again, it's okay. It's okay if you do it. I'm not mad, but it's just there's been too many of them, and it can be like really spammy, and people have complained about it. That's okay. But I don't want to get mad at anybody. There's nobody. I don't want to have anybody get called out. Nobody's getting called out publicly. I'm just saying let's not do as many of those anymore. Anyway, let's move on. So, about half of ID, ZeniMax Online looks to have lost half their team too. Xbox isn't healthy, therefore they should continue doing more of the same. Wait, what? But losing... Oh, wait a minute. What is this? What kind of retarded is this? Xbox is not healthy, but losing all of this talent isn't the cure.
They're not making anything.
Talent?
South of Midnight sucks.
Where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. Where's the? Is it under is it under the sofa? Do I have to look under this? I can't find it. Guys, where's the talent? Oh no! Oh my god. As popular as Marvel is, we have to plan to return to Xbox. So, to help award-winning studios thrive and fund them in creating industry-leading tech, then another entry into the Hellblade series sounds like a smart move. Both Senua's Sacrifice and Senua's Saga have won prizes at the Game Awards, BAFTA, and DICE for their artistry, technology, and performances.
Who cares about awards?
As well as educating those who played them about the world.
That's the problem.
I'm going to write a manifesto. I've had enough. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having to read opinions that I disagree with. I've had to do this for so long, and enough is enough. Enough is absolutely enough. Senua was good.
Doesn't matter.
The Chud Manifesto.
I like
These
Senua.
stupid, brain-dead, worthless, garbage, failed theater kids, rejected Hollywood writers, pathetic losers, like kids that got bullied in high school and middle school, think that their parents are right, confused about the way the world works, stupid, brain-dead fucking freaks.
True.
You actually think that you got a prize and that matters? You think you have your own little industry ideology captured support group where you get to go and
Get with the times, I kept hearing. Well,
fake events and
now it's time for you to get with the times.
make fake events and give fake prizes for fake criteria.
We're seriously going to talk about things like this in 2026? I thought we were past all of this.
That nobody except for you cares about? And you think that now everybody else has to listen and accommodate your ideology because you've created some award ceremony that says that this video game is good? Nobody gives a fuck what you think. You don't matter. You never did. You just got confused for a while. You want to know what matters? How many people are playing the...
You know what happened? A bunch of the culture was manufactured, and then they forced all of the people who built that manufactured culture out, and then all the rest of the people just latched on and didn't want to get thrown out of the culture, so they just kind of went with it all. Now it's coming back to bite them in the ass. They should have listened. It was all fake. It was all manufactured. And people just aren't into that. They don't want fake anymore. They want real. They want passion. They want soul.
Game. And nobody plays this garbage. Nobody gives a fuck about what you think about mental illness or psychosis or how many awards that it won for your artistry or anything like that. This isn't about art. It's about money. They're not making any fucking money. You want to go and fund the game? Go ahead. But you shouldn't expect this to be some kind of a fucking charity. This is the problem.
These are corporations. They're not making art. They are making money. They are all about money. The only reason they ever did the gay shit in the first place was because they thought it was going to make them money. But all the money that they make was manufactured money. It was all fake money. It was funny money. Now all the funny money has dried up. So now all they got left is the real money. And the real money doesn't go to them.
These people create fake criteria, and then they get mad that the market doesn't adopt their fake criteria.
Yeah.
Nobody asked for an award show that gives the prizes to Senua's Saga. Nobody, the people that matter the most don't vote in the Game Awards. Do you want to know what the Game Awards are? The Game Awards are 90% chosen by a panel. So only 10% of the Game Awards are actually players. Everybody else are just random industry individuals. Like, I'll show you this here, right? The Game Awards panel judges. Look at this. So this is the voting jury for the Game Awards.
It's all the corpos that the left pretends to hate, and then they love all the slop that comes out of them.
Esquire Magazine, Game Rant, Giant Bomb, IGN, Polygon, Pride, gay? What do you mean gay? It's a video game. What the fuck are you doing? So you have like literally gay magazines that are voting in the Game Awards. Really? Like this is it's So basically, this is what these people do, and this is how they insulate themselves from failure, is that they create these criteria measures, and then they use the criteria measures in order to justify their existence. That's what they do. And I think that now everybody's tired of it. This is a wild toke, but gamers should be voting on games. Yeah, nobody buying is... No, I'm going to write on Twitter. I will.
I don't think gamers can vote on games either. I think these award shows are just bullshit, and they will always be bullshit. And I think that if it's controlled by gamers, then you're gonna get weird shit, because people will troll. They will troll vote every single time. Just look at how it went for Mountain Dew. Remember that? Look up how their democracy went. Because voting, let me tell you, you're gonna get some stupid motherfuckers voting.
It is unironically a gaming circle jerk. It is a pathetic and embarrassing. I might write this. I will. I might write it today. And this is the path forward for video games, because too many of these losers have gotten involved in video game design, and they think that they understand the way things work.
That's because all of the people who were good at it got pushed out, or they never even got added into the culture in the first place, and they went elsewhere, because who the fuck wants to work for one of these corporations if they're actually good at making games?
State of Decay was one of the great Xbox Live Arcade successes in 2013. Yeah, that was over 10 years ago. Why are you even talking about that?
That's all they got.
The Grammys and the Oscars, etc.
You remember?
At least the Grammys and the Oscars are a lot more accurate. Like, I would say even those are more accurate than what they do with the Game Awards. Like, I would say usually Grammys and Oscars go kind of to the people that I think that they should go to, and I think that most people think they should go to. I'm not saying it's a 100% chance. I think that there are some exceptions, but overall, I think that they're a lot more fair than, you know, these game events, right? So Jeff has way too much sway. Jeff is not the problem. You're not Jeff. No. You're fundamentally misunderstanding my argument. My argument isn't that these shows shouldn't exist. My argument is that these shows shouldn't matter. Just because you put on an award show and say that your video game won an award, that doesn't make the video game sell any more copies. That doesn't increase shareholder value. That's just a meaningless piece of information that was added to this game for no reason. So that's literally it. So if IGN, and here's the reason why IGN is very much writing this article. They know it's the year of the chud. They know.
It's over.
They know it's the year of the chud.
Yep,
and
it's over.
This will begin the decade of the chud. And all of these people are completely losing every value system, every piece of influence, and every single thing that they had to hold on to. It's all falling away from them. And that's the real reason why. Is that they want to create this crisis whenever it's really a market correction, because the crisis is for them. It's that their entire ideology and everything that they believe is effectively now on the chopping block. And in my opinion, not a moment too soon. Not a moment too fucking soon.
And they haven't done enough.
Thank God that happened.
It's gonna get so much worse. And honestly, can't wait.